So when I'm not feeling good, I tend to isolate in my head and I shut all my channels off and I automatically start digging my own grave. It's not funny. I know, blah, blah, blah. But in my head, I have a pain trigger. Like, if it reaches a certain caliber of pain, I'm like, okay, cut it out, cut it off. And to some people, that could be like morbid, or I've had many incidences where my threshold was knocked out of this fucking universe. And pain is technically an illusion, correct? It's used for like kids, touch this hot as fire. From an emotional standpoint, with children, earthly realm children, pain is a way to say, hey, you're pushing your body too far, or something's happening, or da 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 da. I've always went to the traumatic incidences in my mind, and I would sit there. I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, start digging. And I've gotten pretty deep into my own self in those moments where I'm digging through, digging. But I want to, I'm not out the woods yet, but I got hella channels today, like hella of them. I'm laying in bed and all I hear is, kids just talking left and right. Images popping up, people just telling me, everything's gonna be okay. So I didn't have time to dig any graves. I was too busy being supported and cared for from a spiritual standpoint. And my partner, he's very kind. His spirit is very kind and willing to help and wanting to help and things like that. It's beautiful, but I feel like I should be taking care of myself. I should be doing my own emotional digging, but it takes a village to raise a crazy woman, to raise a crazy person. I just feel in a daze, like I'm not really here. I feel like a little dizzy. I can't do too much pain. Even though I turn the threshold down to 15, like that's really low. But it's been like back to back to back to back. I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't know. And one of my favorite TikTokers today was talking about depression and shit. Like, yeah, buddy, I've been through a lot of that. I got some deep wounds in my mind. My mind is wretched. really rigid. Like if something bad ever happened to me, I would send all my souls so deep within memory. Ain't nobody gonna feel it, but I always felt it. I would take all of the goddesses and usher them like Harriet Tubman to a different side of the memory. It's always in my left brain in the creative room, real deep within my soul. Nobody will find it. Only one person has ever found it. That's the back end. You gotta go through the black end. You gotta go through death in order to get there. There's one person. I don't even know how he found it. I was like, that's the hardest place to find. My darkest side. But I've had a lot of bad things happen to me as a kid and as an adult. Shit like that. And sometimes I don't want to go back into those memories. So when I feel pain, when I'm in this amount of pain, I'm like, I might as well just end this shit and go back to the darkness. Cause I don't like pain. I don't do well with pain. That shit take me into PTSD shit. What the fuck am I? I don't like pain. I don't. But it's necessary, I guess. Shit. What did Hosier say? He said, the harder the rain, the sweeter the sun. There's no plan. There's no race to be won. Yeah. But the depression. Y'all can come out. Depression got the best of me a couple times. I don't talk about it much. It's always like a clock around my neck, right? There's only one time that I remember I drank bleach when I was a kid. I drank bleach and I ended up dying. And I told that story of how I went to go see this little boy. His name was Andy. When I died, and I ended up in his room for some fucking reason. And I was so excited. I was like, finally, I got out of this this fucked up ass system. Because I was in foster care at that time. It was bad. It was bad. I drank it, and then I died. And I went to go see Andy, and we hung out and talked a little bit. Anubis came and picked me up in a hearse out of a portal, and then told me, "Hey, if you ever die again, just use." I have a sun around my chest, like a big clock right here. When I die, and all I do is just change the time clock, and then I could go back to the second before I die. I never wanted to do it. I was like, keep me here. I used to walk around. You know that song? Somebody told me that this planet was small. If you're worried about where I've been, everybody dead. And I'm walking around, they all on the ground. I used to do that all the time. It wasn't good to do it, but I used to walk around in Oakland, and I used to eat. I used to go get hot chips. I used to go to the corner store and get all the candy. But it's like as soon as I get back in my body, I couldn't have any of the stuff. Like, you can't take the shit with you. They always say you can't take this shit with you. The only currency you can take is gold, and it transfers over to your spirit to help you to get into the next body. But I used to walk around and like go in people's houses, pretend I was living their life for a little bit. But I didn't have that much time. You only have like I would say 5 minutes before hoo-hoos show up. The woo whoop woo whoop. They got death police. It's like dogs all over. The dog spirits come, and then all I hear is the like paw prints, like wolves, and, hellhounds and shit. But I only have like a few minutes, so I would always do it all the time. I would kill myself all the time. I drowned once on purpose too, like a dummy. And then I had to pause time and rewind time and go back to seconds before and then jump into my cousin's body and have her save me out of the water because I didn't know how to swim. I was very reckless because I didn't want to be in this bitch. I hated everybody. I was such a fucked up mind. Very, very fucked up. So now that I'm wanting to do better and I'm loving everybody and I'm giving, I'm spiritually inclined. I got the sun on my mind. The sun was talking to me today, giving me hella new download. I was like, I can't take no more. I can't take no more. I was like, I need a second. They were like, no, you'll be okay. I'm like, motherfuckers. I told you I'm in hella pain, like bad. And they throwing big downloads at me, like huge. Because the sun has certain access gates. Because the sun is just an enigma. But it has access gates. And I have a new gate that I have to get on and off when I astral travel to the sun. I got a new gate. They upgraded me. First class, baby, I'm in first class. I get a plane and everything. But if I would tell any of the kids about like depression, I want to talk about that really quick. When you're in a dark area and space, your mind wants to go into a deep rest automatically. Like, damn, I need to take a nap. I need to go because I'm like external. External over, what I'm trying to say. When you over stimulated, there you go. Thank you. Overstimulation of negative energies. Boom, 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 boom. I had a lot of that. People would see I would shine my light like a police in the dark. They would all just come running. All the demons. I didn't know how to handle that shit. I was a kid. It would get so bad sometimes. I would call my father. He would show up, and I would say, I would be like under the table, and all the demons was like boom, banging on the table. And I always told him, I was like, they ain't worth this. I was like, who the fuck am I that all these spirits is coming to me? Like, he's like, you gotta go open the gates. I'm like, I'm not opening shit. I was like, this ain't my life. I was like, I just want to go home. I want to be around these people, this universe. Like, these people are disgusting. I never saw the good in people because I only saw the bad. I only saw bad shit happen. There's some good things, but people know how to manipulate time, for the dark side. And they knew who I was as a young age, so I'm like, damn. So your brain automatically wants to go into a deep rest. When I'm in pain, I'm automatically switching that button. I'm like, dang, dang, dang. Because I'm not going into opioids and all that shit. I'm not going to go into the drugs. Because my mama, hey girl, you want to come out here? You go out here, Ocean? Hey, what's up? What's good, mommy? What's good, mommy? See them? No. So automatically when I'm in pain, that trigger go out. I'm like, nobody. I'm gonna go. Take me down to New York City with the girls. I'm out of here. And that's not a good way to thinking about things. It's not a good way because I know people love me and all that kind of stuff. It really does just really it makes me have to put things into context whenever I feel a lot of pain. Because I'm like, I know what's real and I know what's fake. I know what's delusion and what's reality. Because it's a current. Delusion and reality is a current. You got to find where you fit in. Right? So I have to start closing some of the darker the darker doors in my mind. The darker doors in my mind I have to start closing out, and it's pretty scary down there. It's really fucking fucked up in there. I never try to share my darkness with nobody. It can get so dark that it'll drown you. So tried to divvy up the darkness within my door to find more light corners, corners of light, but I still have a lot of dark days, dark doors. And sky is pink and blue. It's the most beautiful sky I've ever seen in a long time. Hey, if anything would have happened, I wouldn't be able to see this beautiful thing. Gorgeous. So I need to learn some new coping mechanisms for myself when I'm in my when I'm in this energy. Running on 1 hour of sleep, and really sad that my body's not doing what it's supposed to do. So you can have all the crystals and you can have all the positive energy in the whole world, but when you find that straightaway, I'm gonna just say that it's a straightaway. Sometimes you don't think that you don't know what's what. What is what? I'll be like, okay, well, I do need a break. I do need a break. Sometimes when I was younger, and I would call it turning out the lights like a game. I play with death a lot. I turn that shit on and off so much because depression has a lot of depression has a lot of buttons on the back end. A lot of unwrapping and uncoding that button is very difficult for me. It's still difficult. I ain't gonna lie for you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie at all. It's very hard for me. Because it's like, I would just be playing a game. Wake up, and sometimes I couldn't remember where I was. I couldn't remember where I was. And I would always just think, I was like, when people find out that this is a game, they're going to be so upset. They're You'll be so mad. You're gonna be so upset. It's like, then I realized I was blessed because not everybody could go and wake up like a dream world. I found out, I was like, oh shit, they have to transfer souls into other things. I was like, what if they don't know how to transfer the fucking souls? They didn't learn? What's gonna teach them? Yeah. But I would turn off the lights and I would be playing like with myself. I'd be like, you wanna turn off the lights? You gonna turn off the lights? I'd be like, yeah, what do we do now? Go take all of these medicines and see what happens. And so I would go do it. What you looking for? Oh gosh, you're always losing that. And then I would go and do it, and everything would just turn into this like black hole energy where I'm falling through Alice in Wonderland type shit. And I would fall and I would be like, oh, this is nice. But it's just like the flip side of reality, right? There's something happened in Calgary. They're like, there's a weird ass stench that smells like rotten corpse and dead bodies being burned. And I'm like, if y'all lucky y'all seeing shit. Because if y'all saw what was really happening, everybody would go fucking crazy. Everybody would lose their fucking mind if they saw past what is being coded. The gods and the energies here, the kids who are coding for Calgary, for up in there, Canada, the people that's coding for New York, them is some of the best fucking coders too. They hella good. I saw disaster. I saw a big hole crater in New York. It's bad. I see through it. I see right through what's being coded. Everybody act like, oh, la la la, everything's going good. I'm like, when the crone speaks, it has to be done, darling. No matter how long it takes to come to this front. Yeah, I would turn the lights out and end up in a black hole, and then I would just turn on my light full bright, and I'm walking around, and now it looks just like regular life, you know. It looks like regular life, and I'm walking around, and everybody laying on the ground dead, and I'm just like eating ice cream and fucking getting pickles from the corner store. I'm having a grand old fucking time. And then I set my timer because I have a watch here, I have a watch here, I have a watch here, a watch here. I always have a watch, and it, depending on who's coming, it will ring. So I would check my watch, and then I would hear the hounds coming. And I'm like, fuck, I gotta get back. So I would find my body and usher myself back into the body, which is all through seals. Seals, these little vortex holes, you know, chakras. Yeah. I would usher myself back into one of the chakras, split my whole body up, and depending on what energy, it would go in a different pocket. And it was like when you flush a toilet. Yeah. I used to get so traumatized when I was a kid. When my foster brothers would run around the house with a knife like fucking Chucky, trying to kill me. And then it would be like, I was just kidding. You think I'll really hurt you? Like, I'm traumatized, kid. I'm a kid traumatized. Like, one time he traumatized me so bad, my heart stopped. And I was up against the bed. And I ended up seeing my form leave my body. Because this was a different one. I don't know what the heck. When the heart stops, it's different. He traumatized me so bad, I fell against the wall in the bed. And I was like, dead, technically. And I looked outside of the window that was right by the bed. And I saw myself and I was like, put it back in your body. Like big mama type energy. Like I was never seen that part of me, that person of me since then. But she came to the window. She looked at me. She was like, get back in your body. And I was like, oh shit. I didn't even know. But that one was pretty rough on me. I never had my heart actually be so consumed with fear that it stops. That was the first time. He was a little hellhound, boy. He was bad. Badass. So, if you ever see me in about a lot of pain and I'm smiling and talking, I'm doing okay. The minute I go silent, shut the door, shut everybody up, I turn all of the channels off, and you'll start to see it in the atmosphere because the birds will stop singing, the fish will stop, communicating to the water element. It's like a whole shutdown of the memory glands of the earth. But it starts with the animals, and then the humans don't get it until like weeks later because they hella slow. Not anymore because I had maybe like 1 million channels today. I was going through the doors because I'm thinking that most of these doors are my children. And the darker doors are my younger self, and younger self moments that I stored in time. But each door I'm opening, I'm seeing like, some of my favorite channelers, my favorite communicators. I'm like opening the door and they're passing me like letters and stuff like that. Then trying to like talk to me, and like I'm sitting in their living room, their garden or whatever with them, and we're having a conversation like I'm doing with the computer right now. And it's wild to feel this energy. I don't know how to describe it, but it's pretty wild to be in my body and out of my body at the same time. But I'm in multiple places all at once. Wherever there is dark matter, I pop up behind people, So yeah, they're giving me like letters and talking to me and being like, cheer up, everything will be okay. I'm trying to find the darkest room so I could just hide out. And they're not letting me. And finally, Father goes, you need to talk it out. You need to talk about it. You can't just sit there and, be in pain. I'm like, you don't know how much pain I've been through in my life and how many triggers I have. You probably do, but it's different for me to not relive certain moments when the pain index is tied to that memory. I tied all my pain index numbers to horrible memories. I don't have a lot of pleasurable fucking memories. I don't. Shit, I can't go back to my childhood and be like, safe. I'm safe. Oh, I'm loved. Oh, my mom wants me. My dad is holding me. I can't go into the past. When I go into the past, I go into the pain index. I have anywhere from Scoville level 1 to 1 million. Just depending on where I was at a certain time. And I've tied those together, and it's almost to a point where it's like tight ropes balanced around my head. So it's like, damn. Can I at least get a fucking hug, nigga? The fuck? Give me a motherfucking hug. I've been through some shit. to the darkest corners of human existence to shed a little light. I take pictures in the dark, and it'll be like a flashing, just so I can see all of the demons surrounding me. All of them wanting blood, wanting honey, wanting sugar, wanting water. They was thirsty as fuck. And instead of killing them, I would pick up one of the demons by his like the little neck and I would put it on the breast. And he would go from this dark, bang looking thing to just like this sweet little fucking baby. It would be like so. I'm a young kid. I'm like, I found a way to deal with the demons. It was putting them on the breast and giving them breast. Breast milk is consciousness. If you ever know, one of my favorite comedians, Dick Gregory, Baba, my Baba. You ever know him? He studied breast milk. I took all of his information from what he sent when he was talking about, downloaded it, and I looked at the formulaic approach, and it has love molecules all throughout the breast milk. Love molecules. Love molecules everywhere. You look at it from a microscope. Love molecules everywhere. So it's I miss him a lot. I miss his lectures, I do. So I'll just say that I have, some darkness to work out, forgiveness to give out, all that. But it isn't until this amount of pain comes through like a brick, that I'm like, oh shit. Best time is now to figure it out. So I'm figuring it out. So I know it's not healthy, for real, to just shut people out, especially my twin, because he controls a lot of how to get me out of things. Like, where my brain goes, he controls a lot of that shit. So I shut him out all the time when I'm in pain, especially. Because I'm like, nobody's going to want to take care of me. Nobody's going to want to really, really take care of me. I always think that. I'm like, sometimes it does feel like laziness. It does feel like lazy. But other times I'm like, damn, how much do I have to do? Like, how much do I have to do? Like, I thought that the spiritual upkeep is more important than this one. But I'm guessing you got to balance it out. You got to stay balanced in yourself. But if you are ever in a moment of depression that's so deep that you can't get out of that hill, just call Mother Mary. If you call on Mother Mary, when I find myself in time of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Mother Mary got this whole situation down in the dark. She got hella women carrying candles to help kids out of their moments of silence, their dark moods. But you got to know her name. You got to know her call. You just have to sit there, curl yourself into a ball like a baby. And then you say, Mother Mary, Mother Mary, Mother Mary, come to me. And she always comes with having a rosary around her neck. She got a rosary around her neck, and she got a candle with her. And she comes with all these other women. And they stand around you in a circle. And then they pray, they pray, they pray, they pray, they pray, they pray. And as they're praying, it's like a platform lifting you up until you get back. Most people don't know that though. They just like go into their depression and they don't come out. Like, she's there. She walks around in the dark with her candle and her rosary. She waits for somebody to call her. I only had to do that one time though. I only did it one time when I was younger, a young girl. Because it was always like a man dressed in white would come and help me fight the demons. Like if I wasn't strong enough, a man in white would come. Boom, boom. That's why I started calling him Obatala, the king of the white cloth. He would always come, doom, 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 and get all the demons out really quick. But one time I went too deep in the forest of my mind. I was lost. I was really, 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 really lost. Like, you know, being so young, you're talking about fucking wanting to grab a razor, type shit. It's real bad. And it was right after I had gotten beaten and raped. And I went so deep into my own consciousness. I was done. I was gone. Nothing in here. And I went deep into the forest. There wasn't nothing there. It was just blackness. And I was scared. For the first time in my whole consciousness, I was scared. Because I was, dead, technically. And I said, Mother Mary, Mother Mary, Mother Mary, come to me. 3 times, and then she came. And then they raised me up into my body. And then another man came out on like a flying ship type shit. Came out, grabbed my hand and put me back into my body. And then I never went back to that point in time. It was like being a seed again. It was like being a fucking seed. Anyway, enough depression shit. I wanted to tell you guys to be bold and courageous and ask for help. If you don't ask for help when you're in the moment, no one will ever know you need it. But when you talk to your spirit guides and you talk to the people around you, they can pull you up out of the shit quicker than you could do it on your own. Shit. Everybody need a fucking hug. One hug from somebody or one hug of a tree can lift you from any negative energy you're in. One hug. It has to be a big, bold, bear hug. But it helps to relax all the organs and relax all the blood pressure. This is why when you're a kid, you develop more diseases when you don't have a parent or someone who's hugging on you and loving on you, because all that shit releases the negative energy from you, because the person who's hugging you is using the love inside of their blood and their body to hug away the pain, the pressure, all that shit. This is why high blood pressure is so prevalent in the Black community. It's about the hugs. It's about genuine love coming from a parental figure. That would, if you literally as a kid and you study it, how high blood pressure is prevalent in the Black community, and you tag it to the moms have to work all the time, the dad's not there, all this other shit, you'll start to see in the correlating factor. But nobody thinks of it on that level. Kidney issues, all that other shit that's happening in this is all about love, the amount that you receive. And that was a study I wanted to do on my own time. But the correlating factors of love, being loved on and receiving love, lowering blood pressure, lowering diabetes, all of it comes from love. And if you don't get it from your mom and your daddy, go to a tree. That's why I love Pocahontas as. She went to her grandmother Willow, and Willow always talked to her and shit. I'm like, that's what we need to be doing, talking to the fucking trees. Everybody going to therapists and shit. I'm like, nah, nigga, go to a tree. I talk to my trees here every night. Them the three wise men. The three wise men. 1, 2, 3 every night. As long as I'm not feeling bad. I talk to the three wise men and I talk to Thoth, of course. But I just know that I have a lot of shit to work on before I get into my union. It's a lot of shit I have to do when it comes to the darkness, because I've been cleaning up everybody else's shit from the black perspective, Cinderella and shit, and now I have to deal with my own darkness. My darkness goes fucking deep. Fuck. I got a black rainbow that leads me to Olokun, the bottom of the fucking ocean, which is the top of ether. That means I have to go and do all the weeding, the gardening, put lanterns all along the the dark row, so the kids could get back and forth to stop the wolves from getting on. And I have to build a bridge of barbed wire. I wish that you guys could see the infrastructure and how it's set up. Anansi. The weaving of the whole fucking system on the back end in order for you not to smell the burning carcasses, in order for you not to see the death, and creating another illusion within illusion within illusion within illusion within illusion, so y'all don't see the real shit's going on. There's bodies all over the floor, all over the fucking globe, and it stinks. But Yami is taking care of it. They're burning about everything that you see ain't real. We have master fucking coders on this shit. Some of the Masons and shit like that, they fucking good. These niggas is good at coding reality. Nobody saw them. They would just do their classes and shit like that and fucking be coding fucking reality. You could take anything out of if you find the seed. So I can rewind all of my genetic curses that was thrown at me. But I have to find the seed, which means I got to go into the darkness. So this amount of pain forces me to go into the darkness. I just want to be up under Jesus' light all the time. Like, I don't want to go back there. I'm not dealing with that bullshit. Everybody got to fucking go to the darkness. This is why dealing with your ego self, your dark self, if you didn't, you became a puppet. Dealing with your darkness and not dealing with your darkness is important. Everybody's like, shadow work. I hate shadow work. Yeah, I do too, but y'all got to do that shit. How do you think all these other puppet masters, voodoo, santeros, all the take the things and walk your dark side for you? The necklace, the leques and shit. Walk your darkness for you if you didn't know what you was doing. I was like, damn. Ain't no strings on me. I ain't no Pinocchio. But I had to. One time, I had all my leques on. The same day, my Shango broke. My Obatala broke. My Yemeya broke right after that on one day. And then my Yemeya broke. I was like, what the heck? The only thing that didn't break was my Oshun. That was the only thing I never broke. And I never got them replaced because I was like, once they break, that's opening that taking that seal off, because Yemeya was like, no. Obatala's like, hey, no, stop. They're like, stop. They're like, oh, it's bad. No, it's not bad. They taking that hit for you. They're like, no, that's my daughter. That's my son. Oshun is the only thing that didn't break, because I was like, I'm not going to let the heart break. I'm not going to let my heart break. But they can control your whole dark side when you're wearing them leques. They don't tell you that shit. There's good santeros and there's bad santeros. There's good voodoo priests and there's bad voodoo priests. Nobody know that. Nobody fucking focusing on that shit. They all focusing on how do I get more followers from where am I, Lekes? How do I get more money so I could have a family, and shit like that. I'm like, boy, y'all messing with some dark shit. Y'all messing with some dark and light shit. I just like the Palo Mayombe. I love that dark shit. I was like, there's so many doors within Palo. I was like, damn. I went through memories and memories and memories. I had a war with I'm not even gonna talk about that shit. That would make me go into a deep, 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 deep hole. But I had to fix that shit. They ended up killing me back in the day with Palo, with the stick. And then I had to go back in time and reverse that shit. Because that was one of the biggest curses was through Palo. That shit deep. That's deep. Deep in the pot. Deep in the blackest womb there is. Myself. So, y'all see me on here with my hair not done and I'm fucking butt naked and all that shit. Not giving a fuck. Just know, I'm a depressed person now. I'm in the depression. I am in depression. But I have my daughter and my son. My son had a party today and he has friends. I was worried because I thought he was going to be autistic. Because he was so small. He's perfect. So I don't have to worry about him. I don't have to worry about my daughter. She's taken care of. I just got to get taken care of now. I got to take care of myself. It's hard in general because I have so much that I've given. And I always thought, because it's like you give and you always get in abundance, right? Once you give something away, you're going to get it in abundance. That's what the Bible taught me and shit. I was like, oh, cool. Turn the other cheek, all that other shit. I was like, okay, let's do that. Maybe that will help the darkness to go away. If I love everyone. Bruh. That got me in so much trouble. That got me in so much fucking trouble. I would walk right up to a wolf, knowing it's a wolf, and get my ass fucking in a situation. I went to one of my Steven, one of my padrino, and I was like, yo, I trust everybody. He goes, no. You gotta trust, but not trust too much. You gotta balance it out. And I was like, how the fuck do you do that? My heart is fucking pure gold. I don't know how to balance that shit out. I don't know how to fucking balance it out. They had to fucking walk me through like I was a toddler. I still didn't get the lesson. Just to everybody. I was remaining in my childlike body. I never got to my adult stage. I was always my wild self. Like I was raised by fucking wolves. Technically, I was. Raised by wolves. Anyway, y'all get time. Just pray for me. Send up a little Hail Mary. Hail Mary's in the sky. False prophets get buried alive or something. No, but for real. Send me a little prayer. Because I still got to find a way to sleep tonight. I've been having pain in my chest and my back and all this shit. But how big is the Library of Humanity? It can't be that big, but it's big. I have to go back to learn all of the classes on fucking. We don't just have a zodiac. They got zodiacs upon zodiacs upon all of the fucking. Hey guys, you hungry? they got zodiacs upon zodiacs upon zodiacs in outer space and all these other realms. What do y'all want to eat? I'm out. Just have to talk out my